Concerning people, I hope you're all well. I've been having a little rough time of it recently, the universe. Let me tell you something, right? I'm gonna say this right here, right now, because this is a real talk channel. I've got other channels that are kind of like jokey and not as serious. I'm gonna say something right here, right now. If the universe wants to mess with you, there ain't nothing you can do about it. If the universe wants to mess with you, there's nothing you can do about it. You can be as determined and whatever as you like. This reality that we live in is undefeated. Let me just say that right here, right now. But that doesn't mean don't try. I'm just saying, you know, we all live and then we all pass away. The universe is undefeated. But that being said, let's move on to a real talk video. When people do not give you a fair shake, what should you do about it? What should you do when the universe does not give you a fair shake? The first thing is to not live in the damp, cold and miserable United Kingdom. Nah, I'm joking, that's not. UK has its good and bad bits, but I'm gonna get back to the topic. So, what to do when people do not give you a fair shake? Well, the first thing you need to understand is that some people just don't like you. And I might do a separate video on this, but some people just do not like you. It doesn't matter what you do, it doesn't matter what good you do for them, these people just don't like you. And it might not even be a conscious decision. Like, we like what we like and we don't like what we don't like. You know, there are people I don't like, and in human nature, you feel first and then you think second. So I will feel a dislike towards someone and then I will rationalize why I don't like them. That's the order. You don't say, I'm not going to like this person because they're loud, and then you feel you don't like them. No, you feel something that you don't like and then your brain makes the connection. Your logical brain makes a connection to explain the feeling that you're experiencing. So, with that being said, and I'm not saying I don't like loud people, you know, I try and give everyone a fair shake, which is ironic considering the title of this video of what they have in front of. I try and take what people are in front of me, but, you know, on an individual basis. But yeah, some people just don't like you. Some people just don't like you, and they will never give you a fair shake. They've just decided, consciously, subconsciously, or both, that they don't like you for whatever reason. Sometimes they don't have a reason. Sometimes they will like you less than someone that has done less for them. You could have done things for these people. I had a friend back in the days where I would lend him money, I would give him opportunities to make money, and he just did not like me. He liked another guy who did less for him. So these things can happen, and these people will never give you a fair shake. These people will never treat you right, do good by you, even just courtesy, respect. Big thing for me is respect. You don't need to do a lot for me. As long as you show me respect, then I can kick it with you. These people, they won't show you respect, and they won't be cool with you. They won't keep it 100 with you, and they will never give you a fair shake because they just don't like you. So what do you do about it? The answer's simple. You got to make your plan to exit. Now, sometimes it's really easy. It's really easy to exit. You know, sometimes, and I can think of situations, sometimes it will be really easy to exit, and on the other hand, sometimes it will be hard to exit. So the times when it's easier to exit is if it's a friendship, right? You're friends with someone, they're not giving you a fair shake. You see them, oh, I can't chill with you tonight because, you know, I got like lots of work to do and this and that. I've got to go to the gym. And then you see on their Instagram stories that they're chilling with someone else. Like, it's pretty easy to cut them off. Or if you're part of a group, just don't go out when they're out, or find a new group. But more difficult ones, I'm not saying that's easy, I'm just saying that's one of the easier ones most of the time. A more difficult one would be work. your boss, that's a hard one, and I've had that. Where your boss don't give you a fair shake. Your boss decides they don't like you. That's a hard one. So that's an example of a more difficult one. Or let's say, I don't know, like other opportunities. So yeah, like other opportunities, because you see me, like I've been in a boxing gym where I'm literally, and you gotta always keep it humble. Boxing teaches you to be humble, but let me put it this way: getting the better of people in sparring, and they've got fights coming out, they got fight dates coming out of their ears, and they're like, oh, I've got a fight coming up, and I'm like, why have they got a fight coming up? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, and the thing is, like, you know, it's not, you can question it until you're blue in the face, but but sometimes the simple answer is just staring you in the face. And the simple answer is, some people don't like you. You know, I've had a coach who, you know, I'm getting the better of people in sparring. They've got fights I don't. Just keep it simple. Guy don't like you. You know, maybe it's the way you walk, you talk, your delivery, the way you breathe, the way you fight. You know, some people just don't like you. And these people will never give you a fair shake. Let me tell you something that's funny, yeah? And let me tell you a don't. Let me tell you a don't. And I don't have all the answers. None of us do. I'm just a man. But let me tell you something that you should not do. Do not try and rationalize with these people. We are a feeling-based species. That we are biological entities, and you know, we have souls, but we are imprisoned in the flesh. The flesh is weak and powerful at the same time. It is an algorithmic matter. So what you don't do is try and talk people out of their feelings, because the flesh is bound by the feelings. We have logic because, well, that's a big video why we're conscious like that, but that's another video if I ever make it. But you know, we are bound by the flesh, and just like the rest of the animal kingdom, we are bound by our feelings. Do not try and talk people out of their feelings. It's like when you're dating a girl, yeah, and she don't want to be with you, but you tick all the boxes, but she just ain't feeling it, and then she goes and runs off and starts dating a loser. You can't talk her out of it. You know, I tried that when I was more naive in the dating market. I would say things to women and like, why don't you want to be with me? Like, you know, I got this, I got that. Yeah, this is way back when I was less experienced. I'm a wily old dog now. I know what to do, what not to do, and to save myself a whole load of wasted time. But back in the days, not so much. So, you know, I would say, why don't you want to be with me? Why don't you want to be with me? Like, and sometimes they would just say, I don't know. And they don't. You see, you know what it is? Feelings. Feelings. You know, don't try and talk people out of their feelings, because feelings comes before logic. You feel something and then you try and make the connections with your logic. So it's like you got two separate parts of your brain, but the feelings are more powerful than the logic every time. So do not try and talk people out of their feelings. If someone's not giving you a fair shake, it's pretty much a done deal, man. I mean, you can mention it if you really want to push the boat out. You can mention it once, but after that, it's a done deal. And I don't even think the one time's going to work. The one time is like your confirmation to say that you tried. But if your boss at work ain't treating you right and you're ticking all the boxes, you're fulfilling the productivity duties, you're even going above productivity rate, you're doing everything you're supposed to do, you're not breaking any company rules, and you got my man over there who's breaking all company rules. You know, he spends half the day checking Facebook, he spends half the day coming back late from lunch, late from break. Most of his day is like an extended lunch or break, and they're talking about, oh, boss has got plans for you to get promoted. That happens. Someone don't like you. I'm sorry. It happens to the best of us. Like, don't try, but the worst thing you can do is try and talk someone out of how they're feeling. At best, what you're gonna get, right? At best, I've seen it, yeah, I've seen it. Like, I've been in a boxing gym where I am putting, like, keeping it humble, I am getting the better of people. And these guys are like 40 odd amateur fights, bro. 40 odd amateur fights, and I'm like holding my own and like getting the better of a lot of people. And this guy, and I'm not getting fights over some people. You have to see it to believe it sometimes, and sometimes you can scratch your face and say, well, why isn't this happening for me? Someone doesn't like you. Do not analyze things until you're blue in the face. If someone doesn't, a lot of the time, the reason you're having problems in life is because someone with power doesn't like you. Like, it's as simple as that. And they will never give you a fair shake. Do not try and talk them out of it. The best thing you can do, because what will happen, yeah, is if you try and talk someone out of it, they will either like you even less, or they will like you even less, or what will happen is they will try one, they'll treat you better for like a week, and they'll always revert back. And the reason they're reverting back is because these cars don't indicate until the last second, man. The reason they don't message back, the reason they'll be nice to you for a week and change their attitude to you for a week or two and then go back to the old way is because that was their natural inclination. We, typically speaking, are creatures of habit. If someone doesn't like you, then they're just going to treat you like that, and they might treat you better for a week or two because you put them on notice, or they'll treat you better because you're showing signals that you're looking to leave and bounce and give your services to someone else. But even then, they convince you to stay, give it a month or two, back to the old ways. So, because that's their natural inclination, that is their relation to you. That is how their brain processes and interprets you. And we are creatures of habit, so they will not treat you better in the long haul. And that's pretty much what it is. Trust me, I've learned through experience that people out here sometimes just don't like you, and there's nothing you can do about it. But guess what? Here's the good news. There are people out there that would like you. There are people out here who will give you a fair shake. Those are the people you got to be spending time on. Those are the people you got to be making moves with. The people who will give you the time of day, not the people that don't. Sometimes, ideally, you want it to be, it's the people who don't give you a fair shake that you think it would be ideal for them to give you a fair shake. Well, guess what? It'll always be ideal for someone to give you a fair shake. Yeah, it might be a bit inconvenient. Sometimes you got to reshuffle the deck. It's inconvenient, but it'll work out better for you in the long haul. So just to kind of round off this video, it was a little bit longer than I thought. Sometimes people will not give you a fair shake because they just don't like you. The best thing for you to do is to make plans to leave that relationship with that person, whether it be your girlfriend, which is hard, whether it be friendship groups, whether it be moving to another job, whether it be going to a different place, like whether it's like biking, swimming, boxing. And it might not be an overnight thing. Sometimes you got to make, it might take a year for you to make that move. Don't pull the plug when you can't just pull the plug straight away. Sometimes you got to lay the mat, put in the groundwork, and then leave. Make it so you leave when it's good for you. Anyway, what do you think about what I spoke about in this video? Let me know. I'm gonna enjoy the rest of my day. I hope you do as well. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, hit the notification bell so you get a notification when I make a new video. If you appreciate my work, want to leave a donation, there's a link for that in the description. And with that, enjoy the rest of your day. See you on the next one.